Hey everyone, welcome to I Totally Love It. My name is Susan, and today I've got a final flip through of my October Junk Journal Madness journal. The theme was Steampunk Halloween, and my guest collaborator was Tracy from Lottie's Magic Attic. And if you go back to the beginning of the month, you'll see where we spun the wheel and rolled the dice and figured out what the theme would be and how many items we needed to make and include. We needed to have 8 of both, and I actually at least I guess I could do embossed item, couldn't I? Sorry, 40. Well, that's 40 items. Oh, I did stencil, so that's 41. 41 different things. Materials. These are like materials. At least 41. And then items to make. We had to make at least 8. I believe I made at least 20. So let's get into the journal. I just used 2 pieces of thicker scrapbook paper and backed them to each other. I used some recycled cardboard here, just peeled back the one layer. And I used some texture paste. Did I even mark that off? I don't know if I did. Texture paste. This is a digital from Nature Site. I think it is. It's linked below. I have these little charms. I've got a little gear there. I've got a wooden one here on top of it's like a paper button. And of course I flicked some paint. And it's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Using some purple embroidery floss. I got a few things hanging out on the edges, so we'll talk about those when we get there. So I just used this craft paper on the inside that had the black florals. I thought that looked nice, contrast to the outside cover. This is just called a die cut from the set from Michaels. That's just a piece of paper turned into a little journal card. That's from that same set. That's some stencil piece. You can journal up here, or you can add something if you would like to add something. This is a masterboard piece from a masterboard that I made in one of my Live at 5 with Susan. This is just a piece of, it's like maybe it's scrapbook paper, but it was like two-toned. Each side was a different color. And I just got the stencil from my Echo Park order. And so I went ahead and used it. I had some other ones, but I ended up not using them this time around. That is a piece of napkin. You'll see a bigger piece of this later in the journal, and I just didn't want to waste that, so I made that into a tab. And that piece of music called, You Call It Madness, so it was perfect for my Junk Journal Madness journal. I made this little tab. I just folded a piece of craft paper, like cardstock, and I rounded the corners there, used a little eyelet, got a little dangle. It's my first dangle in my journals since I've been making Junk Journal Madness journals. That little piece there, and on the other side, they are going to be from Echo Park. It did kind of weigh it down, and I will say I added this little, it's kind of, I guess, like a puff sticker from Fancy Pants to kind of weight it on this side. Otherwise, it really was a strange turn of the page. This is a library pocket I made out of scrapbook paper and just a little library card that I kind of altered. And I have since found a better way to do the spider web, because if you scoop up towards the center, it looks more like ruffles or a seashell. If you go the opposite way, it looks more like a spider web. And those little pieces there are also from Echo Park. This is from the digital kit. She had other parts or other kits, like a part 1 and part 2 apparently, and I only got one. I didn't realize there was another one. So, but if you check her out, if you're interested in steampunk Halloween, piece of vellum. This was something I made in junk journal sketches. I made this as well the other day. I believe it was part 5. That's a stamped image in the back there. Those stickers have been around a while. This is dyed paper. I called this on my checklist, I guess you could kind of call it a waterfall pocket. I called it just a multi-tiered pocket. That's a little die cut. That's a little tag cut from the masterboard. Just a little calendar page. This originally I had this tucked into this pocket, but I've since moved it over here. It's just a journal card. Made that on. Need to trim this. Let's do that right now. I made that for junk journal sketches. There we go. And this back here is just a piece of 2-colored scrapbook paper. Digital on the back of scrapbook paper, little spider sticker down here. Last Halloween, I picked up these doilies from, I believe, Michael's. And so I used one. But kind of careful because, I mean, how are you? It's kind of challenging to put it with all the holes. And I had to cut the little piece up here because that was kind of awkward. But I think it turned out all right. You could always put it in and just glue it to the page, especially if you had a solid color. That would look nice. Here's another little tab made from a napkin piece coming up here in a little bit. And I don't have a lot of gear stuff. I didn't go out and buy a lot of stuff. I had some wooden ones and some metal ones, but I'm probably a little heavier on the Halloween than the steampunk. All right, this is my first altered paper clip in here, and I think it's the first one I've ever made, I think. I've made hidden paper clips. This is just a journal card that I made this past Sunday in junk journal sketches. Down here, I put some of the tape I made with the alcohol inks. I did that in Alive at 5 with Susan. And so I thought I would just kind of throw those in here and there. That's a die cut from that same Michael's set. All right, and that's a map page, and it has one of these has Roswell on it, where aliens, and it kind of gets me in the Halloween thought. This is an ink box that I made for an ink box challenge, but it was also a junk journal sketches, and just a little piece of planner paper or calendar page. That's a tag made from the masterboard. All right, there's some scrapbook paper that I copied digital page onto. All right, this is an envelope, that you get in your junk mail, and used just paper scraps, and that's a die cut from that Michael set. And so this side I just glued kind of an L shape, and that's the only place the entire thing is glued. This is obviously from that masterboard. That was fun. It was a masterboard made with washi tape. This is dyed paper that I got on Etsy. This is the other side of the envelope. So it's only glued on the L, so on the edge and on the bottom. You could glue here, but I feel like you could put something bigger if you didn't. All right, so in here, see, this is a better web. I did smear it a little bit, but I made a little, let's see here, two pockets on the outside. If you put these back to back, but you flip one of them around and punch it, then the thumb holes will be offset and not, in a complete line if you don't want them in a complete line. This one is, hidden journaling spot, and it's got some hidden pockets in there, so you can totally fit some stuff in there, totally. All right, I had that somewhere else and I moved it. And then on the other side, I have I made this in just in part 5, I think, and I was trying to use the heat gun and some embossing powder. I got a little angled pocket there. All right, I have a coloring book page, and on the other side of that, that's from that Michaels set. This is from that masterboard, and that's just a piece of ribbon. And then that's the digital on the back of scrapbook paper. So you've got some journaling space there, and of course you have journaling space all in there. You could also, put something else there. A little cluster I made with some scraps and then some gears there. Excuse the dogs barking if you hear them. This is a digital, and that's on the back of this scrapbook paper. I left these long in case whoever got this wanted to add some beads or anything to it. Oh, just trying to pull it down. This is a piece of kind of stretchy lace. It took me a while to. You have to use like Fabri-Tac or Aleene's clear tacky glue or something, and you gotta hold it until it dries. And I even put my bottles of glue on it to hold it. But just a little horizontal belly band there, and a piece of planner paper that was from October 2020. All right, and then the other side, I've got a digital with the bat with all the gears around. The pumpkin's got the gear eyes and gear teeth. And then, so when I glued that, it actually stuck to this page. This is digital paper. So this was actually when I decided I need to pull that tape out because I hadn't used any yet. And I put some on there, and I thought, well, I'll do more things with that tape. This was in part 5. I made that. I did some embossing, and I used this. It's for metal, but I used that on the edges, so I thought that was kind of a cool effect. Make it kind of spooky. That's a pocket. That's one of those ink boxes. This is just a plain journal or tag and a piece of that planner calendar page. That's the other side of that digital. All right, so this is another Ultra paper clip. That's from the Michaels kit. This is actually Creative Memories. Those storybox cards from back in the day. Here's another. This is a fabric covered tab. So I just took a nice thick piece of cardstock and just glued some fabric on it. Put that there. All right, this is an envelope. So that's some rickrack. And it's like stiff rickrack. So I had to use like the clear tacky glue on that and hold it. This is an envelope that I made in junk journal sketches. So got some pickled brains in there. And then I made this little envelope that folds out into some journaling spots. So that's kind of cool. And there's a little sticker down there. That's just part of that Michaels kit, but you could totally journal on that. And then if you watched part 3 or 4, I think I had to make that corner tuck because it had printed with the scrapbook the price that corner on the back, and I had actually printed one of these. You can kind of tell the shades a little different, but it worked out where I could use that to help make a corner tuck to cover up that spot. I made a fabric flip here with just some scraps that I had, obviously, remnants, and a little fabric strip there. There's Roswell. Digital page. There's the other side of that doily. All right, so there's my belly band I made with square pieces. Originally I was going to put on the edge, but as I was making it like halfway through, I was like, this would make a great belly band. This is just some napkin I had that I was like, I really want to do some more napkin things, so I just decoupaged it, with my Mod Podge, and just rounded the corners. That is just a corner tuck there. That's a little matchbook notepad that I made. It's got receipts. Oh, look, receipt paper. Did I mark that? I did. Receipt paper, some ledger paper, just some blank copy paper, some graph paper, notebook paper. You got some piano roll back here, and yeah, some Yahtzee scorecard paper. Creep it real. And that is kind of looks like washi tape. It's like a sticker roll. There's a piece of that tape. While we were doing that, when I was doing that live video, Bex from I'm gonna forget your channel. Hang on, let me go find it. Okay, Bex's channel is Black Whisper Crafts. Okay, so back to it. That's the other half of that vellum paper. There's a cool cat wearing a hat. All right, so here's another napkin. It did have an edge on it, but it was too, large for this page. I made this into a flip out. So I just took the same cardstock that I put it on and made a little hinge, so you can journal on the back of that. That's a sticker, kind of like the pickled brains. There's the other stencil. The numbers are upside down on purpose, so you can journal down here. And then this is one of those treat bags that we get at Halloween, for the kids. So the top's been cut off, and that's just been sitting in there waiting to be used. And so then I took just a plain old tag, used some more of that alcohol ink, like faux washi tape kind of thing. And then I drew an eyeball in there. So that is there in the back. And there's nothing here because I figure it's kind of bulky enough that you need some flat space somewhere to journal. It's slightly raised, but it's not really. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. So thanks again to Tracy from Lottie's Magic Attic for the theme. I met the goal with the number of items to include and items to make. And like I said, it's a little heavier on the Halloween than on the steampunk side. But both were new for me, and I feel like I did pretty well the first time. All right. Next one's coming up tomorrow on November 1st, and you'll be excited about that one too. I know there's some of you out there that don't make Halloween journals, and you'll love this next one. I think it's a topic that we're all going to love, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right, you guys. I appreciate you and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and go check out Trish at Crafting Whimsy with Trish and Stacy from Crafty Dragon Creations, because they made journals as well. All right, you guys. Let me know if you're going to participate in the next month, and we'll put you on the playlist. All right, you guys. Until the next one, bye-bye.